Welcome to the Average Nobody's Podcast, the ultimate home for wrestling enthusiasts, beer drinkers, movie quoters, and pop culture connoisseurs. Here are your hosts, Matt and Ryan.
Hello, and welcome to the Average Nobody's Podcast. My name is Matt Vieira, and with me, as always, is...
Ryan, no known last name.
Redacted. Last name redacted.
Yep, just... it's always business what my last name is. I don't answer these people.
That's true. It's not all over the website. It's not, it's...
Nope. I've never ever had it, so never ever written it down.
Ryan, what's going on?
Not too much. We got a nice slate for today's podcast. A lot going on in the world. Some may say too much going on in the world, but I saw this today. And obviously, I think by now people have seen the Donald Trump tweet, because apparently that's just how we decide things in this country now, is by the president's tweet.
Yeah.
And that was, of course, I don't know if it's a ban of transgender people in the military. I don't even know if it's something that's going to have legislation to it.
So that's the thing. I think that it's just a tweet at this point, because I don't think you can just create a ban via tweet.
And they said there's 6,000 or something like that active transgender military members. What are you going to do? Just tell them they can't serve? I mean, I don't. Yeah, I think that's how.
I don't know. That's odd. It's an odd situation. It's a terrible situation.
It is. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate. I mean, the thing is, I'm no longer surprised by anything he does. I see a lot of the stuff on Twitter. It's like, I'm horrified and shocked. It's like, how this guy's clearly mentally unstable. There's something wrong.
Yeah, at this point, it's par for the course.
It is. It's just what it is. But the reason I brought that up, we don't want to get into a political battle here, but there was a blogger, and he writes for, I forgot the name of the website he writes for, but his name's Benny Johnson. And he went online and took a screenshot of the U.S. military website. And in that screenshot was, it was basically kind of some gay resort or something that was being advertised on the website.
Yeah.
On the military website. So he just took a screenshot of it and is just saying that the advertising on the Military Times website right now. And it was just two guys in bathing suits, and it says the world's largest gay cruise. So he was clearly trying to make a point of look what's on this website, how this is ridiculous. And it ended up being a Google AdWare advertisement.
Yeah.
Which is basically means he's been searching for I don't know if it's actually the world's largest gay cruise or not, but it wasn't something that was being advertised by that website. It's just one of those AdSense ads.
Yeah, it's like our website. Our website puts up ads, but it's not ads that we're putting there. It's just through Google, and whatever your browser history is what ads pop up. Yeah.
So he kind of put his own browser history on blast there.
Excellent.
Got served a little bit by the internet. Barstool did an article just laughing their ass off.
I can't believe that the internet is getting on this guy for this.
It's weird, right? You think they just let it go?
Yeah, this doesn't seem like something the internet would do.
Yeah, but he's actually taking it really well. I started following him on Twitter, and he was actually, according to him, and he tweeted out the article, he was doing research on Chelsea Manning and transgender people in the military.
Right.
Which is, it's a pretty bulletproof excuse. And he tweeted out the article that he wrote, and this is why he was doing the research for it. But he's taking it in stride. I just thought it was kind of funny that at first he's like, because there's people who are going to be like, oh my God, the military, they're advertising gay cruises. It's like, oh my God, just stop it.
Terrible. And yeah, so Trump's tweets don't surprise me anymore. This is just it's shocking that this is how news now comes. This is how he's gonna, as a president, just tweet it first.
Well, that's the thing, and they went to the Pentagon for an official statement. The Pentagon wasn't aware that this was something. It's you can't Trump, it's one thing if you're a TV host, you're the president of the United States. You can't.
You can't just improvise.
No.
You can't just improvise. You can't. He woke up
Because when
this
you
morning.
tweet something out, that's how people are just going to take it as, well, that this is the United States stance on this issue.
Trump woke up this morning and was like, you know what? No more transgender in the military. Just no, that's it.
That's it.
I'm hitting tweet. Can I fit that in 140 characters? It's gone.
Yeah, and he didn't even. He had
to do it in multiple tweets.
He has three tweets.
He's not known to do one tweet.
No, he's got too much to say.
Yeah, he's not a one tweeter. And maybe Twitter isn't his platform. Maybe he should like open up a Facebook. And just Facebook, but then maybe there'll just like be these enormous rambling paragraphs of the ramblings of a madman.
See, I think the 140 characters like helps him. It kind of it's his own way of being concise.
Kind of.
I mean, it's concise. It's not logical. It doesn't make sense, but at least it's wrapping it up in the most minimum amount of words. I feel like with Facebook, it would just go, it'd go bananas pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yep.
But Benny Johnson, you tried to fight the internet, and it's a losing battle for anyone out there who's going to try to fight the internet.
The internet's not. I would never ever bet against the internet.
No.
The internet has this way of exposing you. I mean, look at people like Ken Bone. Like, remember his fantastic rise to stardom, and then all of a sudden, you get a hold of his Reddit username, and he's got some weird comments on some pregnant people's pictures, and pregnant porn, and that's it. The internet devoured you. He didn't even have 15 minutes of fame before he was torn down. He didn't even get to his whole 15. You never ever bet against the internet. Never ever.
Flew too close to the sun.
You really have to know what you're doing and what you're saying before you do anything on the internet.
Honestly, I think your best bet is to just be brand spanking new to it. You got no browser, you got no history, and you just got to hope for the best.
Yep.
Because once you make it, they're pulling stuff up, and everyone has done something silly or stupid on the internet.
And God forbid you spell something wrong.
Oh, forget it. You're done. That's it.
It's over.
Ostracized. Forget it.
I'd rather run out into the middle of the street without looking before posting a tweet without checking for grammar. And I'm not the best. I am not the best at spelling. Or grammar for that matter, but it's tragic. The internet will just devour you. I mean, we put up a funny blog about some lady that married her Ferris wheel, and we got called child molesters.
Child molesters.
I believe that was the direct quote. I don't know.
And the thing is, like, he doesn't even have to make an argument for it. He doesn't have to make a connection between us writing that and being child molesters. He can just say it, and then it's out there.
The internet can be right, wrong. It doesn't matter. They win.
No, they win. They win. I mean, I don't even know who that person is. It's also a very old blog. Gotta get over it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Benny Johnson, appreciate you going up against the internet, but this week you lost. I kind of want to, hope. I'm sure we'll find stuff every week on the internet for people who went up against the internet and lost. I think that'd be kind of a funny segment. If we
that would be funny, and I'm sure we'll be able to find plenty.
Yeah, just even like you said, someone spelled a word wrong, and then all the mentions, forget it.
Yeah.
You spelled your wrong. All right, well, get over it. What do you want me to do? But another thing, a big thing that happened, this is in the sporting world, and as you know, we're 5-6 days away from August, and August is basically the unofficial start of football season. You start doing your mock drafts, you start getting ready, training camps are opening. Well, Lucky Whitehead, not so lucky.
No.
Interesting name. Did you see this story?
So he's the guy who got his dog kidnapped and held at ransom, right? Okay, yeah.
By a gang member.
Yes.
Yep, got the dog back.
Yes. Okay, good. I'm glad.
Got the dog back. And then the next week, a story comes out that he was arrested for shoplifting.
Good. Yep.
Right?
Yeah, so I followed that. Yep.
So the Cowboys call him in because he's on the Cowboys. He's like fighting to make the team because he's probably would be like their number 4 or 5 receiver. Jason Garrett, Cowboys brain trust, calls him in. He's like, guys, I didn't do this. Like, it wasn't me. They called him a liar, released him. Next day, story comes out, it wasn't him. It ended up happening that the guy they arrested didn't have an ID on him, but had Lucky Whitehead's date of birth, social security number, and first and last name.
Did he have any connection to Lucky Whitehead? Is he like a cousin or a friend or something?
That I don't know. But so how do you have someone's social security number?
I don't know. I mean, well, let's be real here. Someone who gets their dog kidnapped and then held at ransom is probably not too careful with their social security number.
Yep.
That's
a good point.
If the dog got stolen, it was probably just sitting out on the counter. Like it was just the Social Security card was just sitting out on the counter.
And then maybe that same, one of their friends ended up going and
I don't know.
getting caught for shoplifting. But he did get picked up by the Jets today.
That's so. Did the Cowboys issue an apology?
No.
That's unbelievable.
And I guess it came out that Jason Garrett basically just called him a liar to his face and then released him.
That's unbelievable. He must seem
the freaking Cowboys. They just can't. They think they're doing the right thing in a way, but it's just funny that literally the next day it comes out that it wasn't him.
Yeah, it's really funny that he he didn't even did he get arrested for it?
No, it was they had a guy they cited a guy for shoplifting and the guy didn't have ID on him, but when he gave him all that info, so it wasn't even him, the football player.
So that's crazy. So they ain't even have him dead, he wasn't. That's crazy. And so then the Cowboys just took it upon themselves to release this guy when he literally did nothing. But yet they have Ezekiel Elliott, still on pay, still on pay. You can't cut those guys. I mean, you can't cut Ezekiel Elliott, the star running back.
No, and he just got into another altercation, I think, last week or something.
Yeah, he knocked out a DJ at a club or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's come on.
What the fuck are you doing fighting people at a club? If I was an NFL player, I'm not even going to leave my house. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not going to even attempt to do something wrong. What are these guys doing? It doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't. And especially the star ones, the guys who you literally just have a meal ticket to so much money. I mean, endorsements and.
So Ezekiel Elliott has a domestic abuse issue too, right?
Yeah, that was the original.
So this is not a great look for him either. The domestic abuse, and then you have him beating up a DJ, knocking
then you
a
have
DJ
just
out.
a regular assault. Yeah.
It's like you're showing a pattern of what you're about. You know what I mean? That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you when you go to when you get suspended or whatever is going to happen. I have no idea.
Well, that's the thing, because now you look at the domestic abuse almost with more credibility.
Yeah, that's it wasn't just an isolated incident, or maybe he didn't do it. It's this guy clearly is known for hitting people, attacking people. So, why not? Why not? Why wouldn't he do it to his girlfriend or significant other or whatever it was?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not. I mean, I kind of feel bad for Lucky Whitehead in a way. He did get picked up by the Jets, but
I feel worse for him now.
Getting your dog stolen, then you get cut by the Cowboys. I mean,
and then you get signed by the Jets. I almost feel
worse than not having a job.
Yeah, I almost feel worse for him, because maybe if he had still been on the market in a little bit, maybe the Cowboys would have been like, "Hey, we're sorry, we'll re-sign you," and at least he's back on a better team. Poor Lucky Whitehead. Not a good year for him.
Not a good year. Hey, you never know. Could end up having a big year, but not starting off too good.
No.
And then with the other big news in sports, which did we cover this last week on the pod? I can't remember when this happened.
What was it?
The O.J. Simpson verdict.
I don't think we covered it last week, but I mean, I think we both have the same feeling about this.
Yes, we do.
The juice is loose.
The juice is loose.
He's loose again. He's loose.
I mean, how is it that someone is just continually left to be just roam the world? Not only with murder, now with armed robbery. I mean, those are you're really
kidnapping.
Just checking off, and kidnapping. Yeah, you're checking off all the most the not important isn't the word I'm going for, but you're basically checking the box on all the biggest crimes.
Yeah, he's done it all. He's done it all.
I just don't understand the logic behind letting him go.
The thing is, I guess, you know what, in the judge, because there's no person on this earth that you could put in a judge's seat at the bench, or anybody you could put in a jury that would be unbiased towards O.J. Simpson. Not one person. You know what I mean? I don't think you'd be hard pressed to know to someone that doesn't know who he is.
And honestly, I feel the older you are, our generation, maybe not so much, but our parents' generation, he was a sports hero.
Yeah, I know. And then if you didn't know him because of his his athletic prowess, you knew him because of this gigantic the issue in the 90s he had with possibly allegedly murdering his ex-wife and her boyfriend.
Yeah, it was boyfriend or something.
and then like led the cops on a wild goose chase. Like an innocent man doesn't do that. So
no,
people
they don't drive away. They don't drive away with a gun in their car.
Somehow he got out of that, and now he got out of this. So it wasn't that crazy. I had a feeling he was going to. I had a feeling he's got a good record for courtroom for being in a courtroom. He's got a good record. I'm surprised he went to jail in the first place. Honestly, I'm surprised he went to jail for the kidnapping and the armed robbery, whatever happened.
I was too, and one of the parole guys showed up wearing like a Kansas City Chiefs tie.
So clearly an NFL fan.
Clearly a huge NFL fan. And he was like probably in his 50s, so he grew up like in the height of like the OJ hysteria.
Yeah,
ridiculous. Like, how is that guy supposed to have a partial view on something?
Yeah, I don't know. He was on the parole board too, right? That was his.
Yeah. Yep.
That's unreal. Yep. What a tie to wear too. Like, dude, even if you're
don't make it that obvious.
Yeah, even if I'm the biggest OJ fan ever, like from football, I'm gonna keep that shit on the DL because again, the internet's gonna chew you up and spit you out, which they did. You know,
right?
And don't wear that tie the day OJ's getting paroled. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. Just don't.
I mean, it's not surprising, but at the same time, it's like, not the best look.
Definitely not the best look.
So beyond Lucky Whitehead, beyond O.J. Simpson, Benny Johnson, our stars of the week this week.
Internet stars of
the week. We do still have a giveaway going on Twitter.
Yes.
And that's going to tie into our TV club, which we'll get to in just a little bit. But we're giving away Jon Snow pop vinyl.
Yes.
So if you head on over to our Twitter at Average Nobodies, there is a tweet. I believe that is still pinned to the top of our page.
I think it's still pinned. If not, you'll be able to find it, and we'll tweet it out again. Yep. Oh, good. Okay, it's still pinned. But if not, you can also go to bit.ly /Jon Snow giveaway, which is bit.ly/Jon Snow giveaway. Just type that in your browser, and it'll take you to our contest page where you can follow us, and you'll retweet the original Jon Snow giveaway tweet, and you'll be entered to win. But likewise, just like Ryan said, if you want to just go to our Twitter at Average Nobodies and find that pinned tweet and retweet it and follow us, you'll also be entered. So either way, however you want to do it, you'll be entered.
Yep, and then we'll be throwing that out on Twitter for the rest of this week and into this weekend as we head into episode 3 of Game of Thrones. But before we do that, we had Stormborn on Sunday night.
Yeah, really.
Another awesome episode.
They're really keeping the foot to the ground. You know, they really keeping the pedal to the floor here.
I mean, that's the biggest benefit of only having 7 episodes this season. There's very little downtime. I mean, the Daenerys scenes, even though they might not be as action heavy as the rest of the show, there's a lot happening.
Oh yeah, there's a ton happening with her.
I mean, so do you want to just get right into it? I did a little bullet point. And it's not necessarily in order. Those are just kind of all the things I remembered from the episode.
So let's start off. Let's just quickly, like real quick, let's just recount everything that happened in the episode, just like a quick overview, and then we'll go back and pinpoint like sections. Okay. So, how does it open up? It opens up with, is it the round table with like Daenerys and everybody?
Yeah, in Dragon
Stone. Yeah, Dragonstone.
Stone, yeah.
Yeah. So you got you have the prince or the queen of Dorne. Is she the queen? Or is she just it's Oberyn's wife?
Yeah, I think she is the queen.
Technically, right? She must be because her brother
his
brother was killed. Yeah, his brother was killed. And, the guy in the wheelchair. And then so he would have been king. So she's the queen of Dorne. And then you have Grandma Tyrell.
Yep, Alana Tyrell.
Yep, you got Varys, Yara. You got the whole crew in there that's on Daenerys' side. So they're talking shop and whatnot. So the plan is they're gonna split up their forces right now. They don't want to attack King's Landing right away, which is smart because again, like they don't want to rule ash. Like Daenerys doesn't want to rule a bunch of ash when her dragons go in there and burn everybody alive. So they split up. They want to send Theon and Yara and the Dornish. What is her name? What is the lady from Dorne? The queen from Dorne, the one who's
Ilaria.
They want to send them off to Castle Rock, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so they want to take that first to kind of like pin the Lannisters down, and then go from there. So,
yeah, and I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting strategy. I don't know if splitting up her forces is the correct move. It certainly didn't end up being the correct move for Alaria and Yara.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be a risky game by Denai. I think it seems to me like she's got too many hands in the pot. She's got so many people pulling her so many different ways. You got, Tyrion trying to tell her what to do, and then Alana Tyrell, which I thought was an awesome scene when she's telling her, like, you're a dragon, be a dragon.
Yeah.
Like, don't play this game of chess. Go in there and burn these people. You have 3 dragons.
I don't like how she kind of threw Tyrion under the bus. So actually, I think we should dive into this scene a little more before we go on. I don't think that's
okay.
I don't exactly know how we're gonna do this yet, the exact format, but we're gonna figure out as we go along. But so I don't like the way she kind of was like, Tyrion is a Lannister. I don't know. I didn't like that. She's like, I know Lannisters and whatever.
They really the thing with the Game of Thrones universe is it's kind of tough to change based on your last name. If you're a Lannister, you're a highborn, you're a shitty person. If, as much as Tyrion would want to change, all these people who are in charge, like an Alana Tyrell, or even like anyone from Dorne, they're just going to look at you as a Lannister.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's even possible really to prove yourself. Daenerys is really one of the only people who will put some logic into it and not just assume based on his ancestors or even his siblings of how he'll act. But it's kind of tough for him to be his own man, because you have like an Alana Tyrell who's just like, no, that's not really him. He's a schemer.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope Tyrion still has her ear as much as he did before this whole scene went down, and also especially now with like Yara and Theon's fleet going down. I mean, I gotta assume most of their fleet went away, right? After that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Yara's dead yet. I don't think she's dead yet. I think she's held hostage. Theon survived, although where the fuck is he swimming to? Where is he going? I mean, where is Theon going from there? Like, he jumps into the water. Great. You got away. You're literally in, like, the middle of an attack, like a naval attack, and you're not going to be able to get anywhere. I assume they're, like, in the middle of the ocean. Hopefully he's a good swimmer.
He's got a long way to go wherever he's going.
Yeah, maybe he's a little more like aerodynamic in the water without his dick. Maybe he's like how like swimmers shave, like shave their whole body,
and you just way faster.
Yeah, maybe just like a torpedo in the water. It's like we're really weighing him down. Yeah, so that was kind of a bitch move when he kind of ditched on his sister.
That was terrible.
Yeah, wasn't great. What did you think about Daenerys calling out Varys?
I thought it was interesting because what I think is going to happen is Varys is going to, once he meets Jon Snow, it seems like Jon Snow's, which we'll talk about later, might be coming to meet with Dany very soon, possibly next episode. And I think Varys is going to side with Jon Snow over Dany.
You think
because,
so?
And I think that the point of that whole speech with Varys and Daenerys was to get out Varys' line of, I serve whoever will help the people, whoever I think is the best fit for the throne.
But also
he didn't pledge, he said you're not going to get blind loyalty out of me.
Yeah.
But it remains to be seen if he does choose Jon Snow. Will he be upfront with Daenerys about it? Will they forge alliances so he doesn't really have to choose?
I think if he does, I think he will be forward. I think he won't do that. Like, now that he told her, like, I'll be honest with you and straightforward with you, I think he will be straightforward with her. But I don't think that it's going to come to that. I think just like you said just a second ago, I think that Daenerys and Jon Snow maybe right, and not at first. I think they're going to see eye to eye. I mean, Daenerys wants to rule, and I think it's a little aggressive for her to send a note like to people that she wants to join her, like, and say bend the knee. You know what I mean? How she said that note to Jon Snow was like, come to Dragonstone and bend the knee. It's like, that's fucking aggressive, okay? Like, listen, this guy he wants to murder Cersei. He has no allegiance to anybody in King's Landing. He wants them all to fucking die. So why don't you play off of that and be like, let's go after this. Like, you're the king in the north. I want to sit on the throne at King's Landing. Like, let's join up. I don't like that. You know, you attract more. What's the saying? You attract more bees with honey, or what's the saying? You attract more bears with honey. Is it bears? I think I'm butchering this, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. You attract more something with honey rather than vinegar, right? That's the saying, I think. So whatever animal it is, just plug in any animal that likes honey over vinegar.
Probably both.
This is going off the rails, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. Like, I think that was a bit of an aggressive move. Why couldn't you just, you know what I mean?
Like, why already kind of try to piss him off when you're trying to get him to join you?
I feel like
why not extend a hand instead of telling them to bend a knee?
Yeah, Jon Snow is, I feel like, a very reasonable man. Like, he's very reasonable and he's very pragmatic when it comes to ruling, and he's good at it. Like, who said he was good at it? Not Cersei, Sansa, right? Said he was good at ruling. He is. And I think that Daenerys will also be good at ruling. I think she just needs to like figure her way out around people. And hopefully maybe they're foreshadowing to like her, you know, carrying the mad gene, you know, that which would be unfortunate.
It would be.
Yeah. So
because you kind of built her up as one of the people you want to root for, but
totally.
Yeah, it's interesting because Varys and Littlefinger, you know, very similar to me, where they're using their brains and their con artist ways to kind of get as high as they have. Yeah. In this game, so
for some,
I don't know.
There's something inside of me that really thinks that Varys and Littlefinger are on the same page this whole time. There's something that's
possible.
there's something there. I think that's going to be a huge piece down the road that like Littlefinger's been talking with Varys and like knows what's going on, because just like Varys knows everything's going on, Lord Baelish, Littlefinger, knows exactly what's going on as well. He's not stupid, and you should like his face lit up when Jon Snow said he was riding south to Dragonstone. He was like sitting in the corner, and he lit up when he said that Sansa was going to be taking over it in the north. He's like, this is my chance.
I think for twofold, because now it's just him and Sansa for the time being, because God knows how long it takes them to travel back in those days. It's not like he's taking like a cab ride down the street.
Although those fucking ravens get around pretty easy.
They do. They're kind of low key the most impressive part of the show.
Honestly, ravens in Game of Thrones are better than the United States Postal Service.
Yeah.
They're more reliable. I've lost so many packages in the post office or had them sent back to my house because I didn't have the correct postage. Why don't we just get ravens? And that would be fantastic. If I had a lamp, a genie lamp, and I could wish for like a few things, obviously money and all that shit, like all that great stuff. But I think I might ask for like magic ravens that can deliver messages for me.
It's not a bad idea. I think that's one of the things where they made an error when they tried to make it advanced in modern day.
Yeah,
just keep the ravens. You have ravens flying around, delivering messages to everybody.
Yeah, if we had been training ravens this entire time since humans have been around, think about how good they would be at delivering messages by now.
They'd be perfect.
They could probably
foolproof.
They could probably land at your window and then read you the note by now. That's where evolution had been going. I bet they would be talking by now.
They just clip their wings.
But yeah, so I think Peter Baelish is going to play a big part now with like Jon Snow on the way out. It sucks that Arya now is like, she found out that Jon Snow's in the north with Sansa, and now Jon Snow's riding away. Do you think they see each other on the way, or do you think that she misses him in classic Game of Thrones fashion? I
think it's going to be classic Game of Thrones fashion where she misses him.
Fuck,
but she could get to see Sansa.
Yeah, she'll definitely see Sansa, and that'll be nice. But, like, we already got to see Sansa see Jon Snow. Like, that was fantastic. Imagine being able to see Arya see her brother and sister, like, at the same time. Yeah. That'd be fucking awesome.
The only thing is, then I think that would, if they had that happy of a moment, that would be a signifier where something horrible is going to happen.
Yeah, that's probably true. So maybe this is for the best. Maybe this is for the best. I mean, from what I remember, I don't think that Arya does not like Peter Baelish. So I think she's going to be all kinds of, like, disturbed that Peter Baelish is up there, like, like, basically running shit. Like, not running shit, but, like, he's let in the castle and, like, he did some bad shit. Like, he did some bad shit back in the day.
Yeah, kind of a big reason Ned Stark lost his head.
A very big reason. And Arya's not going to... Is he on Arya's list?
I think,
I don't know. I don't know. That's interesting. But anyway, she's still not. She can't be happy, even if she's not on the list. She's not happy with him.
And the only thing, and he's so smart and you're like, well, why would he even stay around? Well, he's really the only reason Jon Snow won the Battle of the Bastards. Yeah. So you can't get rid of him and his army, and he made sure to remind Jon of that.
He knows that the North doesn't need him now, right? Because they have the rest of the houses in the North to align with the Starks. But he does know that Jon Snow, and Sansa for that matter, are not the type of people to turn their back on somebody that helped them. Like, you could tell, like, when Jon Snow was choking him down in the chambers, like the burial chambers, he wanted to do something worse to him, but he knows he can't because that's not who he is. Like, Peter Baelish saved him, and he knows that. So right. Peter Baelish knows he has that power over him. He's not going to just turn around and cut his head off for no reason. He's not a crazy person. Like, he's not mad. Yeah, he's not mad. So,
and I get that kind of. I was reading I always read like a follow-up article on the show after the episode, and I guess it was very reminiscent. They had a screenshot of when Ned did that to Littlefinger.
Oh, right, that's right.
Like almost the same exact way they shot it.
Yes.
Yep. So, and then Ned died soon after. I don't know if Jon's fate is
I hope Jon lasts through this season into the next season. I really do. He's really the only character that would. Oh, besides him and the Hound, he's really the only character that would really like, make not to make the show worse because I would still obviously love it, but it would suck if he was gone.
It would, because you need those, like you said, you need those type of people that have multidimensional personalities.
Yes.
I mean, you like Jon Snow is a warrior and a fighter, but he's also logical and can be reasoned with. You can't just have a whole show full of brutes and a show full of con artists, because then it's like, well, everyone sucks.
Yeah.
What am I room for here? Yeah. Just to let you know, according to a website I just looked at, Peter Baelish is not on Arya's kill list.
That's interesting. I wonder if she'll make an amendment once she sees him.
I wonder how much she knows about how responsible he was, though, because she was pretty young.
That's a very good point. Also, I don't think she was really involved with that whole scene. That whole scene where Peter Baelish had right? Wasn't he there when the what is it? The King's Men? I don't know what they're called. The whatever they are, like surrounded him, right, and like cut his leg. I don't know. He was there or not. But anyway, I think she might have to make an amendment to her list and add Peter Baelish, which he's another character that I want to see go on, because I love that I love his arc, like from nothing to now he has a castle and he's a lord, I
was talking about this last night with Jeff and Justine. What do you think about his accent?
I think it's an odd accent. Also, it's the same exact accent he has in Rise, Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
He's the guy in the plane with Bane. It's the same accent. It's the same.
I wonder if like that's just the only accent he knows.
Maybe that's just that's how he sounds all the time.
You can't even really impersonate it either.
No.
Like I was trying to do it last night, but it's just not. There's nothing to base it off of except for him. Like he's not. Yeah. He's not mimicking anyone.
No. Yeah, you're right. It is not. It is, and also it doesn't fit with anybody else. There's no other person that has the same accent as him.
No. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. It's very funny. Hey, it's unique.
Yeah, I mean, he's a unique guy. Maybe he made that accent up. Like that's his heritage. Like all the people, his kids will have the same accent.
Just all talk like a bunch of schmucks.
Yeah. Speaking of schmucks, how about Samuel Tarly getting the short end of the stick again this episode?
Yeah, he's
he's not dealing with a lot of like great stuff. Like last week he was cleaning out shit, and then he was like eating stuff that looked like shit. And this week he's like cutting the scales off of Jorah.
Oh.
And that was painful to watch. I got to give it up to the special effects artists who did that scene.
With like the oozing and
it looked very good. It was like it was cringy. Like I was like, I can't watch this. Like I had to look away. But so I like. Because I don't think Jorah's going to die during the healing process. I think he's going to cure him.
So now, there's got to be more to it, though, right? Like, it's not just peeling it off.
I think if the
Imagine,
Maesters...
he's like, I figured it out. You just take it off.
Yeah, if the Maesters couldn't figure that out, then the whole Citadel's a sham. Because that's the first thing you have to do, right? When you see this shit, it's like, cut that shit off. It's gross. Get rid of it.
Why are you letting this stay on him?
Just cut it off. Like that. You got to do that first. But I think that obviously there's more to it. And obviously he said it's dangerous, so I'm sure we'll get some suspense and whatnot. But I think at the end of the day, he's going to be all right. And he's going to be out of there on his way to see Daenerys.
Yeah.
He'll be out of there soon. And I think that he's going to bring the message, like what's going to happen. How I picture it in my head, and I was telling Lindy this, is like Jon Snow's going to end up at Dragonstone and try and convince Daenerys like that the dragon glass kills the White Walkers, and the White Walkers are something we need to worry about and all that, right? And then I think that Jorah is going to show up and second that. Like, be like, yeah, I was with Samwell. He was explaining to me like the dragon glass, blah, blah, blah. Like, Samwell will be kind of like, once Jorah tells him that he has to go back and like help Daenerys and whatnot, he'll be like, oh, you gotta, let her know, like double up on that message.
Yeah, because he was writing her like basically a goodbye note.
Yeah.
Jorah, right? Earlier in the episode, I think
he was, and you can actually, if you go online, Dave, like, because people who watch the show are fucking geniuses, and I knew this was going to be online. I was curious to see what it said. And if you go online, you can read the whole note. They have it transcribed.
Yeah, I did see that. He writes very nice for a.
Yeah,
I didn't even think he could read, to be honest.
It's back when penmanship mattered, honestly.
Yeah, seriously.
So
make penmanship great again.
Good for Samwell Tarly being the hero behind the scenes that we all need.
I agree. Big scene for him. Big season for him. I'm glad he's been heavily featured.
Yeah.
He's obviously going to be a big part of it, and now it seems that. Jon Snow is, which he kind of always did. He kind of understood the importance of the dragon glass for the Great War. So
yeah,
Sam's going to be a big part of that too.
Yeah, I kind of teared up a little bit when Jon Snow talked about Sam at the when he was the meeting with all the lords and whatever. He was like saying, he was like, a man I trust as much as anybody in this world. But that was really nice, like, because they were tight back, like when they were Night's Watch together. They stood up for each other.
Yeah, he basically kept Sam alive.
Yeah,
Those guys would have just beat him into submission.
Oh yeah,
because that's what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the least Sam could do, and he's putting his stuff to use. How about his dad? Speaking of the Tarleys, his dad now is what was his duty? He was sent off to. They gave him a castle, no?
Cersei did, right?
Yeah, Cersei, did she give him Dragonstone or tried to give him Dragonstone? Was that it?
I think so.
Right, because she wants him to fight for her against the Dothraki and all them.
Which I don't know if that's going to work out well for Sam's dad.
It's probably not going to work out for anybody that goes against the Dothraki. I think we're going to get some great battle scenes with the Dothraki people going up against Westeros armies.
And the one thing that I was reminded of when I was reading the review of the episode, which I think gives Euron the advantage over them, is that they're like afraid of water.
Yeah, because they've never been on boats before.
So I mean, that's what I think. If if Euron's going to be the villain that they want him to be, he's going to have to keep winning these battles, and that's his advantage. He's obviously not going to be a greater fighter than the Dothraki, but if he can keep it to the sea, that would kind of be his advantage.
Yep. And so now we didn't see the Hound. Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, but as far as Sam's dad goes, it's he better bring a lot of buckets of water.
Yes. It's not going to go well for him. So I jumped right on my phone when I saw that Euron showed up and stole the Dornish queen. And was like, that's his prize. That's what he's bringing back to Cersei. Yep, which makes total sense because she fucking poisoned her daughter.
Yeah, and he has Yara too, which I don't know if Cersei will care that much about Yara.
Yeah, I don't think she really cares about Yara, but I think she's going to be very happy to get her in there.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And that, that's a great, and I didn't even kind of think of her.
Me neither.
When I was thinking of the gifts, but that makes a lot of sense.
Everybody was saying Tyrion, and I was like, Tyrion makes total sense, obviously, but I couldn't calculate in my head how that was going to work.
Big. Yeah.
He's too close to Daenerys right now. I don't think anybody's going to get to Daenerys just yet. So I was like, who else though? Who could it be? And then it makes total sense. I didn't even think of that. It fucking I always forget her name. Anyway, the Dornish queen and her
Ilaria.
Yeah, her daughters got slaughtered this episode.
Sand snakes are all gone. I mean, of all the characters they've had the past couple of years, it didn't seem like they did a really good job introducing the sand snakes.
No,
they had that, I mean, they had that little plot line with Braun.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't, like you said, they didn't do a good job introducing him, and they didn't do a good job sustaining them. They were like in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So
they just weren't really that interesting.
No, not really. I mean, they were, like you said, they were interesting with like Braun and whatnot, but other than that, I mean, it wasn't great. So
if you had to kick off some semi-important characters, they were the ones to go.
Yeah. So they're
really
gone.
Cool way to set up Euron's boat though, with that like fang that was like a snake head or something.
Yeah, it like came down on the boat, and he fucking came down with the craziest lunatic look on his face.
Yeah.
Oh my, with the giant axe. Oh my god, that was aweson. That was really.
And
cool.
I guess the name of his ship is Silence.
Oh really?
And the reason he was like cutting the tongues out of I don't know if you remember that scene.
Yeah,
he was like cutting some of the people's tongues out. Is he keeps those as slaves.
Oh good.
And he cuts their tongues out so they can never plan like a mutiny.
Excellent.
They can't communicate with each other.
Sounds like a swell guy.
Yeah, sounds like a guy who puts a lot of thought into some really pleasant things.
Yeah, he's got a lot of time on his hand.
I thought it was a cool fight scene. It was like a different. It was different because like the last couple fight scenes they've had, like Hardhome and Battle of the Bastards, those were more like battles.
Yeah.
But this was more like almost like a pirate overtaking.
Yeah, this is the first time we saw like a naval battle, like a boat.
Like an actual one-on-one, because even the naval battle of Blackwater had more of explosions than actual fighting in the water.
Right. Yes. Yeah. The boats just got blown up, but the real fighting happened on land. This is the first time it's been like on the ships, which is cool.
So now, I don't know, what's your take on Theon? Because I was willing to forgive him for all the shit he did as Reek, now that he seems like he was doing the right thing, but I don't know if he can come back from this.
See, I think that he did the right thing here. Now, hear me out. I think he definitely bitched out, but I think this sets him up for a bigger redeem. He's going to redeem himself big time. Because I think if he charges at Yara in that scenario, I think that she gets her throat cut, and then Theon dies. I think they're both dead. I think now with Yara being taken hostage, whether or not Theon did that on purpose, there's an opportunity for him to save her, just like she came to save him from Ramsay Bolton, but he didn't want to leave. But maybe now he has the chance to go back and save her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they probably both would have died at that.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I mean, he was obviously taunting him, and then as soon as he came closer, he was going to cut her throat. So,
right.
I mean, it was a bitch move. It was a total bitch move, and I don't think he did it purposefully, on purpose. But I think in the end, he's got to have his redeeming moment. He hasn't really had it yet. Like, he helped Sansa, right? But that wasn't like a big redeeming moment.
No.
I mean, she did most of the saving there. She was like trying to convince him to let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely made sense in the long run for him, and to kind of save or postpone Yara's life. But I have a feeling that Euron's going to do some pretty terrible things to Yara.
Yeah. Yep.
So in a way, he's saving her life, but she might soon wish she was dead. Yeah. Which not looking forward to watching that. But
do you think she'll go back to King's Landing, or do you think that he'll take her like wherever he's at?
I think he's going to kind of take her hostage too.
Yeah,
but more of his personal hostage than where Ilaria is clearly the gift.
Yeah,
he might keep Yara as his own thing.
Do you think that Cersei goes full crazy queen and has the mountain squash her head like he did to Oberyn?
I think so. I mean, you got you got that killing machine there. You might as well put him to use.
Yeah, seriously, just push her eyes out with his thumbs. Ugh.
Yeah, because he hasn't really been featured yet.
Not really. No, he scared Euron the first episode.
Yes,
but
which is fair.
Yeah, definitely
He's
fair.
a scary looking dude.
So, what do you think is going to happen next week? What are our predictions for next week?
So, I mean, I was talking with Holly about it because at first it's like, well, they're probably going to draw out Jon and Dany meeting. But I don't think they're drawing anything out anymore.
No, I think they're really going for it, and I love it. There's no need for it. I think you just got to go for it.
So, I mean, I think they meet in a way. I mean, I don't know if it'll be like the big meet, but I mean, they're clearly going to meet, and I think that's going to be a big episode for Varys as far as like really understanding what Jon Snow's about. I think they're going to play off of. I think they're going to play off of his speech last week about how he serves the people, how he's not going to give blind loyalty. So I think that's going to be a big part of it. But the name of the episode is called The Queen's Justice.
Okay.
So I think that kind of hints at Cersei having her episode too. Like, does Euron already get to her?
I think so. I think
with Arya.
Yeah. I think he's going to show up with her. I think so.
I'll read you the summary of the episode. It's only 3 sentences.
Okay.
It's Daenerys holds court. Well, so Daenerys and Jon Snow maybe meet, discuss their strategy, if they're going to work together. Cersei returns a gift. So definitely playing off that conversation in the opener about the gift.
Wait, returns a gift?
Yeah, which is kind of confusing. So maybe she gives something to Euron?
No, I know. I'm going to make a prediction here.
Okay.
I think that she's going to send the body of her back to Dorne.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And so so she's returning the gift that Euron gives her.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be her like mutilated body.
Yeah, definitely. Something like that.
Who's she going to send it to?
That's true. There's nobody.
Her daughters are dead.
Whoever's left in Dorne, I guess.
Yeah. Is the son still alive?
Or maybe she sends it to Daenerys.
Maybe.
As
like hey, this is what happens.
Yep, this is what happens.
Bitch.
Yeah.
And then Jaime learns from his mistakes.
You mean having sex with his sister? Maybe.
Uh,
maybe not that.
Maybe not that. I don't know. That one. I think it's too far gone. You can't save him.
Yeah.
But that one I'm really interested in because I don't know. He's slayed a mad king before. Is he gonna slay a mad queen? Maybe he's in the room and sees Cersei again show no mercy to Ilaria, and it's just like gonna build up in him that she's losing control.
Yeah, maybe. Could be.
So yeah, that obviously I think it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. So favorite scene from last episode. I'll go first because I think that they've had a lot of really cool little bits of dialogue that I really liked. Like with Tyrion, shall we begin in the opener? Getting ready to plan with Daenerys.
Yeah.
Lady Olenna, telling Daenerys to be a dragon. In this episode was really cool. But the Arya and Nymeria scene was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But her saying that's not you, to kind of, and that was a callback to
when Ned started
her and Ned.
Yeah.
And he's telling her you're gonna marry a handsome prince and blah blah blah, and she's like, that's not me, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
And I think Arya at first, just out of almost second nature, seeing Nymeria and just saying, come on girl, like come with me, and then almost immediately realizing like that's not you. And I think it was a twofold reason for saying that. She was saying it to Nymeria, that's not you now.
Yeah.
Like that's not your duty anymore. Like it's to follow me around. But I think she was also saying it to herself, where like almost like not that I don't need you, but like that's not you. Like you're done relying on people.
Yeah.
Like you've done all this on your own so far. You don't have to rely on Nymeria. You don't have to rely on anyone. And Holly also brought up a good point. She was saying that all the direwolves are supposed to reflect the personalities of the Stark children.
Yeah.
And I mean, nothing is more Arya than to just like go off on your own and create a new pack of direwolves or wolves to follow you around.
Yeah.
And just go off and be badass in the woods.
What do you think's going on with Ghost? Ghost is still around, right?
I think so.
Right, he is. I
That's
think
John's, right?
Yeah. I think he is. Anyway,
I have a bad feeling he's going to turn into a White Walker.
Ghost?
Yeah.
No, that's not going to be good.
No. And it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, I loved that scene. The scene you just talked about. I think my favorite scene though is I love when they hold court in Winterfell. I love those scenes with Jon like ruling. I like the back and forth with Sansa. I like all the Lords of the North like banding together, and I especially like the whole scene with like Peter Baelish and Jon Snow in the crypts.
The crypts.
I think there's so much to Peter Baelish's character. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but I feel like there's so much to his character that's going to be important coming this season and maybe in the next season as well, in the last season. So I'm glued to the TV when I see Peter Baelish on the TV. So that's it. I was kind of disappointed the Hound wasn't in this episode, but
he'll be in the next one.
Yeah,
he's still with the Brothers Without Banners, right?
Yes, I think he's on the every other episode story arc. It seems like but it seems like Cersei's gonna have every episode. You'll have at this rate Arya will have a little bit every episode. The main big people, but I think he's on every other, which is fine. His storyline's a little slower than the rest of the people. But yeah, I love the scenes in Winterfell, and I'm excited for Jon Snow to meet with Daenerys. That'll be awesome. So looking forward to that. But
overall, another really solid episode.
Very solid.
Stinks that there's only 7, but at the same time, it's really advancing the plot pretty dramatically. So
yeah, and I feel like we're going to be very satisfied with this season.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's going to be hard for them to really tank now. Like they're off such a good start.
There's too much good stuff happening for them to miss the boat.
Yeah, definitely. Just a reminder, we're doing that Jon Snow Pop Final giveaway. So if you go over to our Twitter account, go to the pinned tweet. All you have to do is follow us and retweet that tweet, or you can go to bit.ly/Jon Snow giveaway, all lowercase. You can also enter there. The next week we'll be talking about episode 3 of Game of Thrones season 7. And we'll maybe we'll have some more internet stars too.
I think we will. I think we can. I think we spend enough time on the internet to find some more stars.
Yeah, the internet makes and destroys stars, superstars every day.
They do, and we hope to find some that they destroy.
Yeah. So I think that's it for the Average Nobody's podcast. Thank you for listening. And if you would like to, go over to iTunes and give us a 5-star review. Or you can listen to us on Stitcher Radio. Give us a 5-star review over there. Follow us on Twitter at Average Nobodies. We're on Facebook. Search The Average Nobodies. AverageNobodies.com is our written word blog. We're updating it every day. Trailer alerts, wrestling wrap-ups, original video content. We also post our podcast there as well. So there's no place that you can't. You'll find us somewhere on the internet. Just search Average Nobodies.
You'll find us.
Just go on the Google machine and search The Average Nobodies, and all of our stuff pops up. So that's it. Ryan, thank you. I'll see you soon, and thanks everybody for listening.
Have a good week, everybody.
Adios.